Hey, 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 veggie friends. So, your kid wants to become a vegetarian. Crap! Okay, I was 17 when I became a vegetarian, so I'll walk you through how to make it work, how to make it easier for your family to transition without turning your whole world upside down. Plus, I will tell you what I wish I knew when I became a vegetarian. So, here we go. The very first thing I recommend is being supportive. If you want to see a video about how much it can hurt when you're judged for your choices, see the video I uploaded on Saturday about the random guy that insulted me at Walmart. But anyway, it's fine to say I disagree or I don't understand, but I support you anyway. It's okay. You don't have to. You can eat meat all you want. But if your kid decides to stop eating meat, they need to know you're there for them and you're backing them on that choice. I really didn't realize how hard it was for my mom when I became a vegetarian. She told me, I don't know how to cook for you. And I was like, oh yeah, Mom, whatever, we'll figure it out. And I didn't think it was a big deal until my friends, as an adult now, started contacting me and saying, my kid stopped eating meat. What do I do? What do I need to know? How do I help them? What next? So that's why I decided to make this video, because I'm sure there's a lot of people with that question, and there's not a lot out there on this topic that I could find. So I want to give you all the information that I can to at least start you off and help your kid with their choice. I became a vegetarian when I was 17, like I mentioned, and that was because at that point I had a job, which meant I could take care of myself and I felt like I could help pitch in on my food and take responsibility for that choice. So if you're talking about little kids, it's a totally different thing. That's up to you when you decide that they're mature enough to make that decision for themselves. In my house, it was you have to at least try everything. Because I didn't like meat since I was a little kid, like never did. And so obviously if you're talking about a 3-year-old, you're not gonna force feed them, but you just gotta do the best you can. And if they're refusing to eat meat, work in protein sources that are vegetarian. So the thing I really wish that someone would have discussed with me when I became a vegetarian was nutrition. People made flippant comments at me about how are you gonna get your protein, and my mom really tried, but she honestly didn't know. She didn't have the information, and I didn't realize the importance of looking it up myself until much later. And so being able to present that to your kid and just telling them about the nutrition aspect and having them armed up front and why it's important and why they need to do it right from the beginning is important. A lot of people freak out and they're like, oh, this person raises their kids vegetarian, so they're gonna be so unhealthy. Well, the truth is, it doesn't matter. If you're a meat eater and you eat at McDonald's every day, same difference, right? There are healthy ways to eat no matter whether you're vegetarian, whether you eat meat, whether you're vegan, no matter what lifestyle you're choosing. So the important thing is, number one, to go over protein. I'm going to list for you in the description, there's a really good list from Eating Well of vegetarian protein sources. And what I suggest is go over it with your kid and say which ones do you like, what works for you, and have their protein staples stocked in the house, and make sure that they are focusing on always trying to get a protein in with every meal. It's not gonna be possible, especially when they're eating out, but if they're aware of it and at least trying, then that's good. And definitely don't make it a weight thing, even though, it is a weight thing ultimately, but you're gonna give them a complex if you go there. Just, this is what you need to be doing to be healthy, is incorporating this protein to keep your energy up, to make you feel good, and all those great things that relate to health. So the next thing when it comes to energy is supplements. And my mom had started looking into this because she actually had worked at a hospital previously, and she was telling me you need to take iron, you need to take B12, as she started looking into it. And I, being 17, did not listen to her until she told me that the purple rings that were forming under my eyes were because I was deficient in iron. And so my vanity is kind of what forced this, but after I started taking them, I noticed a huge difference in energy, and that's what happens with B12 and iron, right? So it's very important that they have supplements of those. B12 only comes from animal sources, so you're only gonna be able to get that from a vitamin. And iron, I get also, in addition to taking supplements, I get that from spinach, mostly spinach. I try to work spinach into all my salads and into some of my meals just to get that extra boost of iron. I'm gonna link a B12 and an iron supplement in the description for you. Not all of them are vegetarian. There are some that have animal byproducts in them. So the ones that I'm linking in the description are vegetarian vitamins that, they're pretty affordable. Everybody says, oh, it's so expensive, you have to take all these supplements. Really, they're not. They're like $5-6 a bottle. If you go high end, maybe $10-11 a bottle. So no, it's not expensive to get the nutrition you need to supplement if you're doing a vegetarian lifestyle and you want to do it right. The next thing I want you to know is that everything doesn't have to change. I used to get really frustrated. I worked at a weight loss center and people would say, oh, but my kids won't eat that. I can't make a different meal because they need to eat this. And it was so frustrating to me because why do kids only have to eat mac and cheese and chicken nuggets and crap food, like honestly? And then the next thing is meals are so easily adaptable. I actually have a recipe I'll link to in the description. It's for a Mexican risotto and I have variations on it. So you can add meat for the meat eaters. You can reduce the fat if that's what you're looking at. And you can serve this whole family with one meal. It's not that hard. This Sunday was the Super Bowl and my friend made a vegetarian chili and then he just added meat for everybody else. It's really easy to adapt instead of just saying, whoa, this is your meal. You're separate, you're different. You can find things that make it work for everybody. The next thing I recommend is working together to make it work. So this is really an opportunity for you and your kid to learn how to cook together and how to do things together. My mom bought me a cookbook when I became vegetarian and I still have it 21 years later, and it meant the world to me because it showed that she really cared. She really was trying to understand, and you can do that too. My friend, her kid was around 10 or 11 when he decided to stop eating meat, and her stipulation was, okay, we'll do that, but guess what? You're gonna come in the kitchen with me and you're gonna help with dinner so that we can make your version, or if we're making you something on the side that's a little extra, you're involved and you're taking responsibility for that choice and you're involved with how we carry that out as a family, which I thought was a really cool idea. So if they're mature enough to make the choice, no, I'm not gonna eat meat anymore, then they're mature enough to help and they're mature enough to figure it out. Also, this cookbook still is in print, believe it or not. I found it super helpful because it listed celebrities that are vegetarians, and I found that as a kid, I found that super relatable and super cool. Like, I'm not alone. Like, there's other, like Mr. Rogers is a vegetarian. I thought that was super cool. And there are sections in here about the nutrition aspect of it and kind of how to start being a vegetarian and how to work that into your life in a healthy way. But I was a kid and I didn't pay any attention to those sections because my mom didn't really know what to tell me to do that. And so if you focus on it with your kid, maybe they'll take more interest. I just wanted to jump in and start making the recipes, to be totally honest. But that information is in there and it's really helpful, even if it's information that you can read and then maybe share with them. So I'll include a link to the book in the description of this video. Honestly, it has so many recipes and it's a really good resource. And the last thing I want to mention is preparing your child to handle social situations. As I mentioned in a previous video, and you could check that out, is vegetarians get stressed out about social occasions and potlucks. And the thing that they need to know is it's okay to ask. It's okay to ask, are there going to be vegetarian options? It's okay to make that work for yourself. It's a situation where you can bring your own food. What's not okay is expecting everybody else to accommodate you just because you have a different lifestyle. So that's something you want to prepare them for and encourage them on a case-by-case basis. If they have something coming up like I have such and such with my swim team, or I have, whatever event, encourage them to talk to you so you guys can maybe look at menus or look at the event and figure out what's going on and how you can make that work and they can accommodate their new choice. So this is really just a starter. I'm sure there are a lot of other questions you will have. I encourage you to put them in the comments. Let me know what other questions you have. I am happy to answer them. If there's other videos you want to see topics covered in, I will do that for you. I also want you to come and join our tribe. Subscribe below, click the bell to be notified when a new video comes out. I put out new videos every Tuesday and Friday. So thank you for joining us, and good luck with implementing these changes in your family.